Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As I stated many times, these guys, when the Ukrainians are losing or the Russians are winning somewhere, they will provide you with the information about a week or a week and a half after it happened. So if, let's say, the Ukrainians are leaving a position, they're regrouping, they will tell you maybe 7 days after they did. Before that, they say, well, could be maybe the Russians, maybe this, And after about 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, they tell you, yeah, they left the positions, they regrouped somewhere else. So the same thing here. As you probably know, the situation in Kupyansk, in Kharkiv or Kharkov, as the Russians call it, is bad for the Ukrainians. They already evacuated children, adults from many settlements. I covered that a month ago, maybe more than a month ago, where I said it's already done. If you evacuate population from the front or from, that means the front you expect to be expanding or moving towards you. That means you're losing your positions. Logical, but nevertheless they try to sugarcoat it so we don't get it. So now we have finally the evidence coming from the New Voice of Ukraine, and this article comes from November 27th, 2023. So the Ukrainians finally confirm that actually the Russians are advancing and they broke the front in Kupyansk. So here is an article and they paint it in a certain weasel way. Here it is. Yeah, exactly. So, New Voice of Ukraine, former Wagner fighters storming Ukrainian positions near Kupyansk, General Syrskyi says. So it can't be the regular Russian fighters, it should be the mercenaries, the bad dudes. Well, again, I don't buy that, but nevertheless. Former Wagner fighters. So the Russian military is garbage without the trained mercenaries, ruthless. That's the point here that you got to get out of the title. Russia is using former Wagner mercenaries to storm Ukrainian positions in the Kupyansk sector. I will show you on the map where Kupyansk is located. And should be right here. So this is the map of Ukraine and where the hostilities occur. The front, and Kupyansk is right here in the north of the front. So right here where let's say in the most eastward location of Ukraine, here is Kharkiv or Kharkov Oblast, and here is Kupyansk, and here it is Kupyansk. The Russians are advancing on in this area. They have been advancing for some time already, but then the Ukrainians retreated and evacuated the population from this area, and now it seems like they're about to storm Kupyansk, and that's according to the Ukrainians. So let's keep reading and see what these guys are saying. So this is according to Colonel General Syrskyi, commander of the Ukrainian army, said on Telegram. The Russians continue to actively advance in the area of responsibility of the Khortytsia Operational Strategic Military Group, Syrskyi said. In the Kupyansk sector in eastern Ukraine, units assembled from former Russian Storm Z and Storm V convicts are also being used to storm Ukrainian positions, Syrskyi noted. Now again, they use these convicts obviously to denigrate the Russian soldiers or the Wagnerites. Now, as I said many times, if you're losing to a bunch of drunks and rowdy convicts, that means you're worse than them. So then you should shut the hell up. Whenever you go and you fight, let's say you go in a competition and you lose, let's say, and then sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. And after we lose, we say, well, the opponent was garbage. What does that tell everybody else about your abilities? You're more than garbage then, right? Or he was just lucky. Or I don't know, when they play football, soccer, they say, well, the grass was not good, the pitch was this, it was raining. It was raining on both teams, not only on your team. So what the hell are you talking about? So the same here, the convicts. If the convicts beat you up, then you're, I don't know, not very good, let's put it this way. The Russian invasion forces have had no success, no, in this area as fighting continues near Ivanivka and Sinkivka. So they didn't have any success, but somehow they stormed the area. The Russian military is trying to assault near the Syrskyi forest in the Lyman sector using bombers, fighter aircraft and helicopters for fire support, the commander said. Now Lyman, I have two Lymans here. Maybe there's more than that, but the ones that I know is one north of Kupyansk, and this doesn't pick it up, this map. I think it's in this area right here, Lyman. And there's another Lyman called Krasny Lyman is right here. So this is north of Bakhmut, Artemovsk, right here. So this is Artemovsk right here in this area, and then, or Bakhmut, and then you have Krasny Lyman right here, and then you have Kupyansk right here, and then another Lyman supposedly in this area, but this map it doesn't zoom that far. So he's talking about one of these Lymans in the Bakhmut sector. So yeah, it's the Krasny Lyman because now he goes south. So he's going with the map from Kupyansk. They went to Lyman, which probably is Krasny Lyman. Now he goes to Bakhmut, and then he's gonna go maybe to Avdiivka and then to Marinka and tralala. We'll see. I didn't read this thing obviously because it's not hard to discuss things that are obvious. In the Bakhmut sector, the aggressor continues to try to force Ukrainian troops from their positions. In this area, Russians have intensified the use of kamikaze drones, but they have had no success, Syrskyi says. Now they tell us how many people died here, but they didn't tell us how many of their guys died. So it says earlier UK intelligence, which you should trust as anyway, a guy who wants to sell you something, reported that the Russian leadership was beginning to rehabilitate some elements of the Wagner PMC after the militants' failed rebellion in June. Well, why not? What are they going to do? Start working in factories or something, or become babysitters like here? No. Or start doing stupid stuff like ex-convicts. So my friends, this article, it's titled, right? Former Wagner fighters storming Ukrainian positions near Kupyansk. And these guys are evacuating. Let me show you how proud the Ukrainians are evacuating their own population. So here is an article from Ukrinform, and look at the title, and this is from, again, the 27th of November 2023. Forced evacuation of children completed in Kupyansk district. So what's Kupyansk district? Is exactly here. This is the Kupyansk district. So this little piece of information, right? The forced evacuations of families with children from the most dangerous settlements of Kupyansk district has been completed. Now that, together with this, the Wagner fighters storming Ukrainian position near Kupyansk, tells us, unless we play full retard, that the Russians are really advancing a big time over there. Otherwise, they should not have done an evacuation, and they would. The title on the first article would be "The Mighty Ukrainian Army Rolls Over Former Wagner Losers Who Are Running Towards Vladivostok Together with Their Russian Army." But the title is not like that. It's a little bit weasel-like. So it's not even confirming 100%. It gives you still a door to think, oh, maybe it's not. We're still winning. Unfortunately, people die, and that's a lot of destruction. Families' lives are screwed up for what? For certain interests that are not even in Ukraine. The interests are far away. The organizers of war and the profiteers, using, other hands to pick up the hot potato from the fire. And the hands are Ukrainian hands, and unfortunately Russians trying to oppose those big interests. That's the whole story here. Nothing else. It's not the Ukrainian fighting for the territories. Yes, they think so, and it seems to be like that, but if you look how everything was channeled, it was towards this fight between the two nations that have some problems, but like brothers, you can solve problems better than unknown person across the, I don't know, land somewhere else. Still your brother or cousin, the same thing. You had problems because you were close to one another. I really don't agree with certain countries' policies, like for instance Romania, which from the very beginning, after 1990, they started 1990, 1991, they started looking at Russia, not Soviet Union, Russia, as being the enemy of Romania. And those garbage, I mean, with the exception of Iliescu and other political guys over there who were on that side at that time because they knew better. I'm not going to get into that right now. And then since then, Russia was considered the enemy of Romania. Why? Because they considered Russia supposedly Soviet Union. And then they say, hey, the Russians are coming. It's not the Russians, it's the Soviets. And the Soviets, in charge of the Soviets, are those guys like Zelensky and Shmyhal and others. That's how actually it started. Look at the leadership in 1918, and you're going to find out. Just read about it. And then you're going to find all kind of guys in the leadership of the Soviet Union. All right, my friends, here it is. The Russians are advancing, and in Kupyansk, don't let yourselves be fooled by euphemisms and spin doctors from the media. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.